Good morning, I'm Al Litman, Mayor of Mesquite. Today's COVID-19 report is 1,151. We were supposed to receive 2,000 doses of the vaccine for this week. However, due to weather and other issues with the vaccine supply, we did not receive any doses. We anticipate receiving enough doses for next week, so we will start accepting appointments for those 70 and older on Tuesday of next week. This was completely unexpected delay, and we are working on our end to get it back on track. For those of you 65 to 69, I'm hoping it'll just be another week or so, but with this delay in vaccines, we will keep you updated as soon as we know more. Several weeks ago, Boulder City announced they were giving vaccinations to the 65 to 69-year-old population. This was stopped almost immediately by the county. It was thought to be unfair to the rest of the cities due to shortages of vaccines throughout the county. This was confirmed on the RJ on Sunday. I want to talk about two things this morning, both having to do with mental health. The first subject is back-to-school anxiety during COVID. Children who are heading back to the classroom next month are facing unusual challenges, and one of them is anxiety about being separated from their families after nearly a year of togetherness. For some kids, it will trigger separation anxiety, in addition to the anxiety they may feel about leaving their safe harbor from the pandemic. Kids are just really used to being home with their parents now. I'm not talking about older kids, but the little ones who will be returning first. For many young children, it takes a while to become adjusted to being in school before the pandemic. When kids go out now, they're often reminded not to get too close to other people, to keep their masks on, to use sanitizer, and to wash their hands frequently. For some children, the excitement of going back to school after so many months stuck at home will outweigh potential anxiety. But those who already have anxiety might take a little longer to adapt, especially to hybrid schedules. So parents have a complicated mission dealing with all this anxiety and uncertainty. Reassuring children that it's safe to be away from them while encouraging them to be careful and preparing them to be flexible in case the situation changes. So how do parents or caregivers do that? I'm not attempting to give you a lesson in child psychology, but I worked with children with separation anxiety and make these suggestions. You need to validate their feelings. If your child is telling you they are worried or having negative feelings about returning to the classroom, you want to validate their feelings. What I mean by that is to let them have the space to express that. But you don't want to feed them too much, and you want to help them think about something they can do about it. If your child is struggling a little bit, or they say they miss you, that's okay. Just say, I miss you too, and I'm so proud of you for going to school. You as parents or caregivers need to lead the charge. If you lead with your own anxiety, you will fuel the child's anxiety. Always answer questions and act calm even when you're not. Try not to ask leading questions like, are you nervous about going back to school tomorrow? Which can indicate that there really is something to worry about. If children have questions that you can't answer, you can say, that's a really good question. I'm not sure, but I can find out the answer to that. Kids appreciate knowing what you are doing to help manage the situation and also what they can do, so working together to ask and answer questions can help them stay calm. Next week, I'll have more on the subject. I realize that not every young child will have separation anxiety and can't wait to get back to school. But it's more common than you might realize that separation anxiety exists. The other day, I was visited by Rural Clinic's immediate mental health care team. I won't go into too much detail this morning, but they're here to support adults anywhere in rural Nevada who need immediate mental health care. The phone number to contact is 1-877-283-2437. Their hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., 7 days a week excluding holidays. Services are billed to insurance and will be without charge if a person is unable to pay. These services are provided by the Department of Health Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health, Rural Clinics. They'll provide you with telephone triage. You will get a meaningful response, and aftercare is needed for your issues. Again, I won't go into detail about these services at this time, but you have the number to call. There's also a mobile crisis response team for children and teens. Their number is 702-486-7865, and they operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With all that has happened this past year, these services are valuable for those in rural communities. This has been a difficult year, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. You need to keep the faith. Try not get COVID-19 fatigue, and that means to me, follow sanitation recommendations, wear a mask, avoid crowds, and places you know are not safe. Use common sense and stay mesquite strong. We're all in this together, and we'll come out of this together. Thank you.